I want to piggyback on something that Harry said, because anytime I hear about handouts, you have to understand there's a certain connotation when you hear handouts. That is to get into the visceral. First of all, the technique that's used to hurt government or to shrink government is a magical technique. The first thing it does is it uses racism in a false way. They make most Americans sit back and believe like those others are sitting down waiting for a handout. Those others, people that have that melanin, people that have that stuff, they're waiting for handouts. What that does to, and I kind of alluded to this at a speech I gave to a group out here in Kingwood. What that kind of does is it gives a delineation in people's psyche that, those other people are trying to take stuff, and in taking stuff, they're harming us, not realizing that we should all be considered us, right? But the lie is this. The lie is most of the people that are getting funded by our collective tax dollars, meaning all the dollars that goes into the treasury, who is it paid out to? Most of it isn't paid out to the others. And we have to stop believing that, because it causes us to harm ourselves. Most tax dollars, most welfare dollars, most social security dollars, most of all these dollars goes to the majority population. It has always been that way. But when those small amount of people in power want to want to take more, they create friction between peoples by making some believe that others are taking advantage of the system. So you attack those others like when Harry gets the cue, you just want a handout. That immediately has a color attached to it. Implicit, it's not said. It is implied. It's all what Atwater, former Republican leadership, Atwater wants you to believe. They don't say it out loud, just like I'm not saying it out loud right now. But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That's the magic of hate. That's the magic of how it works. But all of you listening to me here right now, I don't care who you are, what you look like. We are in the same boat. There are very, very few on top that are the puppeteers to ensure that they get most. So in effect, when they want to cut the budget, when Elon is cutting the budget and he has all these working class people telling him, hey, yeah, we want it. This overgrown budget, this overgrown government, this government that's wasteful and all of that. And by the way, folks, in as much as the government does waste, that waste is productive. When the government wastes money, it goes into the economy and it circulates and it generates more economy. That part they don't tell you. You see, all those people that are being laid off in Washington, D.C., in Austin, Texas, in Nacogdoches, Texas, that work for the government, you see all those people being laid off. They're going to say, oh, great, that'll reduce my taxes. No, it's not going to reduce your taxes. It'll reduce Elon Musk's taxes, not yours, because you may get a fractional tax break, and that tax break will then be spent into the higher costs that since Medicare and Medicaid is not subsidizing your hospitals anymore or your doctors anymore, you'll pay more for your doctor's fees. So it's not like if government gets a little bit more efficient, that efficiency is going to come into your pockets. That's not how it works. That's how they want you to think it works. Even wasteful government is productive. Wow, what a thing. And let me explain to you in English. Let's say we have a government worker making $60,000, or let's say we have 100 government workers making $60,000, but we really only needed 80. So let's say the waste is 20%. By the way, waste isn't that much, but let's say it's 20%. But what happens with that $60,000? There's a good chance that extra 20 people may not be hired around the economy, but they're hired now. And that $60,000 go in to buy products from Amazon, from Walmart, from the street vendor, and all these things. And those street vendors have to buy more from other people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a jobs program. And you may say, was that particular job needed? Well, are they sitting down twiddling their fingers, or are they doing something? They're doing something? Okay. What very few understand is that these people, even the ones that are getting laid off that they claim they don't need, get up every day, take a bus, take a train, take a car, buy gas, buy lunch, goes to work, goes to a restaurant that keeps that restaurant with business to make money, to hire other people. And, that's how it works. Now, anytime they talk about efficiency now, Musk wants to lay these people off so that less tax dollars have to go to pay people, and less tax dollars he has to pay into the coffers where he maximizes his money. But wait a minute, let's talk about how he makes his money. He makes his money by all these federal grants for SpaceX, for Starlink, for his electric car subsidies. That's your tax dollars going directly into his coffers. And what's the service he's providing again to have those billions? Oh, wait a minute. All he does is hire managers who hire managers to hire engineers and secretaries and doctors and lawyers in his business. So he sits on top doing absolutely nothing, cutting jobs from other people he claims are doing nothing, which they're not doing nothing. They're actually doing something. They can, but to understand the concept of capitalism and how we work. Look, we believe, those of us that are true left activists, we believe in something called basic income. We understand that everybody plays a part in this economy. Even that person on welfare plays a part in that economy. Because when they get their SNAP or their food stamps or whatever, and they throw that into HEB or Walmart or whatever, they are causing HEB or Walmart or others by their actions to hire more people. And people say, well, but they're doing nothing. Are they really not doing anything? No, actually, when they sit down on their phones and they're scanning on their phones and they're looking up things and studying or whatever, or writing posts, guess what? They're also working. What are they doing? They're feeding AI. They are adding to the knowledge base of AI. What I try to tell folks is this. Look, some of us work a lot more than others. Granted, look, I work at least 16 hours a day with this work that I do and all the other stuff that I do. That's a choice. That's a choice. I'm not rewarded well for that. Howard bust his butt at KPF doing a whole lot of work, keeping the transmitter going, keeping all these things going. He gets a good salary, not near what he could get if he went and worked for one of the big radio stations or whatever, but this is one of his passions. Jack goes ahead and he comes down here and he does a whole lot of work, mostly out of the passion he has for this. It's not paid what other people could be paid at another radio station, etc., but it's what he wants to do. But they provide a service to society. That person, that every one of those that Elon Musk have laid off, and I need to stop that Trump has laid off cowardly through Elon Musk. They serve the purpose. We have to change our mentality. Some of us genuinely want to work. Some of us work hard and not necessarily getting compensated where others would work as hard, but that's what we want to do. And we do it, but don't dare disparage that person. Most people, the vast majority of people, do some kind of work. They may not have the ambition that you have. They may not have the ambition that I have, but they are a valuable part of society. And I'm not saying that to be nice. I'm saying that that's just the way it is. But that's how we are taught not to see things. That's how I was taught. That's how I used to look at things. I would look at a welfare recipient and like, man, I've worked. I came to this country. I swept floors. I washed dishes. When I was in school, I drove cars. I delivered pizzas. All this stuff. I could always find me a job and do something, right? But does that mean that somebody that doesn't have that drive is somehow not worthy? And then some of us who have that mentality have the nerve to call ourselves Christians, which is not what Jesus ever preached, or Muhammad for that matter, or whoever you want to call. We have got to change our frame, people, because that is what allows Musk and the evil capitalists to do what they do to us, move us directly into indentured servitude. And I know it's hard. A lot of you are with your suit and your tie on and you think, What I'm talking is just a left wing somebody talking a whole lot of crap. No, brother, I've been in the capitalist system. I have products that I created, designed, etc. So this isn't some bleeding heart person that doesn't want to work. Hell, I'm still working 16 hours a day. Not getting paid for that kind of work, but still doing it because this is the kind of stuff we should know, and this is the kind of compassion we should have. It's sad, but I before sorry for that little rant there, but I just got hit when I heard Harry talk about his friend telling him he just wants a handout. That's a slur that's always used, on many. Look, I understand there are lazy people out there. I understand there are people that don't have as much drive, but that doesn't make them less of a human, or that doesn't mean they shouldn't have that society, what we call a society, shouldn't have a way to survive. Is that?
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.